This is the pound New Zealand on the 5-minute time frame. I'm on the 5 minutes because we have a 26.18 which I've used as an entry, but also we have a potential low and tight flag. So here's the double top. I watched this form. However, I waited for the break below, close below. I waited for price to come up because the pound New Zealand has a very large ATR. I wanted more confirmation. We actually held the structure level just up here, and then I got involved with the trade. So 26.18 as the entry. Let's go and take a look at the higher time frame and the potential low and tight flag that's set up. Here on the dailies, there really isn't a great deal, to be honest. We're kind of consolidating in this range just here. There isn't a great deal for me. Take a look at the 240. The only thing I can say here is that we have been working our way down, and we're down to this minor level of structure right here. Let's take a look at the 60. Okay, so here on the 60 you can say that this is either a double bottom or a low and tight flag. So for a low and tight flag we need a directional pole, and then we need the market to hold in a range that's been tested a minimum of 2 times either side. And you can see we've got that, so we've got a test, 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 and test. And my entry could have been this red candle here, because I do need a rejection candle to show that that structure level is held. Again though, with this being the pound New Zealand and it has a very large range, I just wanted more confirmation. So just before I drop down any further time frames, I'm going to put a structure level on just where this double bottom has occurred. And if we look for a structure level, we don't really have a decent structure level that it's come into. There is structure around about here, but there isn't one which to me would say that this is double bottom. Also, we do not have the RSI confirmation there either. So for me, this is not a double bottom. If we drop to the 15, then what we've actually done here is we can actually move this up and say that here on the 15, this was the second test. The first is down here, the second, the third, and then the fourth here, which would mean this could also be another double top that's occurred on the 15. And on this one, there is the RSI confirmation. We did go overbought there at about 83. We do have divergence. We go to the 5 and just take again another look at that double top that's occurred, and the 26.18, that is valid. So with this additional confirmation, even though this is only on the 5 and 15, it's more confirmation that potentially this area is going to hold and we could see a move lower. Now, I've been conservative with the targets in terms of where they're placed. So I'm just going to go back to the 60. I'm looking at taking profits at a retest of the lows here on the 60. Just fatten this up a little bit. And then playing for the extension as well. This is a low and tight flag for me, but it isn't. It meets all the rules and it's completely valid, so I have to take it, but it isn't the best. And so I just want to be more conservative here. I've got a confirmation that we could go down for a retest of the lows. I'm quite happy then to take target ones and move to break even and just hold for that extension and see if we do actually get it. We do have a nice reward to risk here. I have gone, I think I told you it was 10 pips above that, above the very highs there, giving me plenty of room, plenty of breathing room. And again, because the ATR is so big here, it does mean that there's a lot of pips at stake and a lot of pips for reward as well. So 36 a risk, 80 to target ones, and 160 for that extension if we can get it. One thing I am noticing is that we are at the 9,000 psychological number just there. Now, I don't like taking profits at psychological numbers, but when we're looking at currency pairs that have a big ATR, inevitably you're going to run into those psychological numbers. So, you know, here's the 1900, here's the 190, 100, the 190, 200, and this is only the hourly. So we're going to hit those psychological numbers. So in this instance, that isn't going to bother me, but I am front running from that 127 fib by a full 10 pips on the pound New Zealand. And we're back for the update. I have just manually exited this trade for minus 12 pips, and the reason for that is here, if we go to the 60, we've just had the 10 o'clock candle close, and because if we look at it here, we've actually closed now above our structure level on the 60. And so when I dropped to the 15 and I saw that we're seeing a little bit of a pullback here, I exited the trade there for minus 13 pips. So for me now, the low and tight flag is invalid. The 2618 is actually still valid, but I only use that as the entry. I did not use that as the actual trade. So minus 13.